Okay, I'll be honest with you. I've been playing Starfield since release, and I was actually one of the few people out there who enjoyed the hell out of it and couldn't understand why it had so many negative reviews. Personally, I don't really like following the internet's opinions on things, so that could be why. I just like to give my honest views when I play games, regardless of any potential hate I might get here on YouTube, because I would prefer just to give my honest opinion on things. But with 50 plus hours playtime and reading endless reviews and breakdowns of this game, Starfield is a bad game. Here are all the main important issues in under 10 minutes. You really don't need to waste your time watching a full 30-minute breakdown. So let's get into this. So first off, loading screens. This has been talked about a lot, and I was one of those people who said, don't be a knobhead, just get an SSD and it's not an issue. Yes, this does relieve some of the pain and suffering, but it does not remove the endless loading screens you'll encounter at every moment in this game. Whether you enter your ship, go inside any building in the game, or land on any planet, you will get a loading screen, and it's beyond ridiculous. I saw a video recently which made a really damn good point, and I wish I could remember which video this was from. Essentially, they spoke about Red Dead Redemption 2 and how it felt like you were so engaged in the game, because once you were in the game, that was it. There was no loading screens, unless you were fast traveling, of course. You could go inside buildings and travel around the map without seeing a single loading screen, and it made you feel so much more immersed. With Starfield, it's the complete opposite. And that is why loading screens are an issue. And it's not just something that people are bitching about. It's nothing worse than looking at a damn screen all the time when you just want to play a game. In 2023, this should not be a thing. The lifeless open world. To be honest, I still disagree that the world is completely lifeless, as cities feel somewhat lived in, but the AI is seriously god-awful, and NPCs appear completely brain-dead and soulless. And if you want nightmares tonight, look at the state of this thing. Scary as hell. No need for laxatives, just have a look at this and you'll shit yourself over and over. Where things do become disappointing is the fact we have hundreds of planets which really don't have much on them. They are just empty spaces for the most part. Quality over quantity. That's all I'm going to say. Give me 5 heavily detailed and dense planets over hundreds of lifeless ones any day of the week. I would much prefer that, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. The story. So it's rather boring, and I found myself doing the side missions instead. And I swear, if I have to do one of these missions again, I'm going to throw myself off the nearest bridge. It's ridiculous. I would actually love to know, how many of these missions are there in the game? Feels like I've done about 40 of them. So boring, it's just the same thing every single time. Imagine if you weren't interested in doing the side missions, you just wanted to do the main story. I think you need a suicide hotline on speed dial, to be quite honest. Doing the same mission that many times should be a crime. The endless side missions are actually quite good in this game, and I would divert my attention from the boring lackluster story to them instead. So with that being said, don't buy the game for the story alone. As Martin Scorsese would say, this ain't cinema, and he's bloody right. No landing on planets. It didn't really bother me at first, but now thinking about it, this is quite a big problem, and it contributes to the many loading screens we have in this game. At least give us the option to land on planets before giving us one of these bastard loading screens. Christ's sake, it's just everything you do is a loading screen. I just feel sorry for people out there that haven't got a bloody SSD. Please comment below if you have a hard drive and you've played this game. I really need to know. This game doesn't try to make you feel immersed at all. Here is a load of dead planets to explore, and you don't get to land on them, you greedy cock. Watch a few hours of loading screens instead. I mean, to be honest, I think I started seeing these loading screens in my sleep after a while. You should have been able to enter a planet's atmosphere without seeing a loading screen and actually land on it. That would have been amazing. And it has been done in other games, so you can't use that as an excuse either. Endless menus. This goes hand in hand with immersion. Here is a great example. Remember in Red Dead Redemption 2, where you would visit a shop, instead of seeing a menu when buying items, you would actually remain in the game still, and you would open a book to browse items, whilst the vendor speaks to you.
I'm so excited to try this.
Howdy.
In Starfield, prepare to be looking at menu screens almost the same amount of time as in gameplay. I would actually love to see how many hours I've spent looking at menus in this game. Red Dead Redemption 2 did it right. It kept you in the game and you never felt like you were leaving it. It felt like you were actually there in the game still, browsing items. And I feel really sorry for the new players out there who have just picked up this game, because it does take quite a long time to get used to it due to how many menus there are in this game. I remember playing this for the first time and I felt pretty headshot to begin with, as I didn't really know where to start. Navigating these screens on your first initial playthrough is literally like shitting out a dog. It's not too bad now that you've got used to it, but for new players, I mean, you're going to find this a bloody ball ache. Bethesda. This is the most important point of the lot. Remember how Cyberpunk came out a disappointing mess, and CD Projekt Red actually cared for the players and begun trying to fix their game. Bethesda is doing the opposite. We're wrong, they're right. The responses they made to reasonable reviews of the game with countless hours played is horrific and unprofessional too, and essentially not addressing any issues the game might have. In their eyes, it's bloody perfect. At least, CD Projekt Red have tried to rectify their mistakes, although it's taken a long time. With Starfield, it's not going to happen from the looks of it. It looks like they have no intentions to fix or address issues, which really is the nail in the coffin. However, this could change due to the backlash from fans, as it's really not going down well. So with all that being said, Starfield is bad. There is fun to be had here, but it really does fall from the mark in many aspects. And I will admit, I was completely wrong about this game thinking about it now. I definitely had fun playing it at points, but with this many hours played now, the issues are just clear as day, and it made me realise just how bad the game really is. And to be honest, I just don't like following everyone else's opinions on things, so that might be why I never thought this was a bad game, and I carried on playing it like it wasn't one. But when you begin listing all the issues in this game and things you would like to change, it becomes apparent then, as the bloody list becomes longer than the donkey's cock. So do you agree with these comments? I would love to know in the comment section below. Am I being way too hard on it, or am I not being hard enough? Let me know in the comment section. And if you would like to find out whether the GTA Definitive Edition is finally worth playing all these months later, make sure to click the card on screen to check out that video. You definitely don't want to miss it, as things have changed and it might surprise you. Thank you guys for watching as always, and have a great rest of your day.